Avi Meyer's Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself, ntnm.org on the web, all shows on YouTube. Jewish Chicago's coming out in about a couple weeks or less for early voting, so 60,000 circulation strong this year. We'll be all over the place, and if you'd like to be involved, contact me. Right down to business, we are pleased to have the Republican candidate for state representative in the 15th District, Greg Bedell. How are you?
Very well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you. Why don't you tell us what the 15th District consists of?
The 15th District, like unfortunately most of the districts in the state, are gerrymandered hither and yon. We have
a good.
It's unfortunate that that referendum didn't make it to the ballot. We have a substantial part of Morton Grove, of Niles, southwest part of Glenview, where I live, 6 wards of the city of Chicago, a little bit of Park Ridge, 1 block in Skokie, I believe it is, if you take out the park that they put in there. A little bit of Lincolnwood, so it is really scattered throughout the northwest side.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting area.
Extremely.
Yeah, and what is this your first venture into politics?
Yes and no. I actually tried to run for the 15th District in 2012, but was unfortunately knocked off the ballot by petition challenges, the time-honored tradition in the state of Illinois. I was actually one of the Republican candidates in the special election in 2009 for the 5th congressional seat when Rahm Emanuel went to Washington, was the Tribune-endorsed candidate, but unfortunately didn't make it out of the primary. So I've had a little bit of experience.
Wow, that's Tribune-endorsed candidate. That's impressive stuff.
Thank
Very
you.
good. So what are the issues right now that face you in the 15th?
Well, I've walked the district quite a bit, and I'm hearing the same thing from everybody. They're very upset about the direction of the state. They're extremely concerned about taxes. Spoke with a gentleman on Sunday. He'd been in his house for 40 years, and in the last 10 years his taxes have doubled. He's a retired gentleman. He said he can't afford the house anymore. To me, and I'll tell you the word I used with him, unconscionable. It is absolutely unconscionable that a man that's been there for so long can't afford to stay there. So that's one of the large issues, obviously, the pension issues that we're facing after having been kicked down the road for so many years. I don't believe in kicking cans. I believe in solving problems, and that's what I'd like to go to Springfield to do. And another big issue for me is education. I believe that every child, every family should be able to get the best education for their children. That's possible. Education starts in the home. It has to be supported there, and if it is supported there and a child shows an interest and a dedication, they should be able to go someplace where they can flourish. And the system that we have now, kids are trapped, and I don't think that's fair. I'm fortunate enough to live in Glenview. My wife and I are blessed enough to be able to move up there with some very good schools. Not everybody has that ability, and they shouldn't be trapped just because of their location. So I'm a supporter of charter schools. I'm a supporter of vouchers. I'm on record of having been that way for years.
By the way, I'm big time on vouchers. I mean, it's one of the most important things they could possibly do.
Absolutely.
So no question about it. In terms of, now, one of the things we had on the show not that long ago is we had some of the neighbors and people from Northeastern talk about the eminent domain, and that happens to be in the district you're running in.
Correct, correct. Along with putting somebody in jail, the IRS, the government's power of eminent domain, is one of the most frightening things that they have. It's part of our Constitution and had a very different understanding, I believe, up until a number of years ago when the Supreme Court unfortunately decided the case of Kylo versus the city of New London in Connecticut. Since that time, public power has been able to take private property and give it to another property owner. In essence, what you have and what I think is going on here is the government, through its power of eminent domain, doesn't think that the businesses in the area are up to snuff. We're not happy with them. We want better, so we're either going to pick winners and losers or show favorites. And it appears that, listening to President Haas, I believe her name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listening to some of her clips, she was asked directly by some of the residents in the area, why are you choosing an area where you'd have to take people's property, people's homes and businesses, and use that rather than land you already have to build this dormitory that you're looking to do? And she said unabashedly, because it's slated for economic development. So it's very clear they don't like what's there. We want better. And what does that say about the people that live there? And I don't think that's right. It's not a proper use of eminent domain in my mind.
No, as a matter of fact, it's a horrible use of eminent domain, and who are they to pick losers and winners among big private business?
Correct.
It's ridiculous. absolutely ridiculous. Plus, there's no need for them to have a dormitory, and that's an understatement.
We could spend 20 minutes on that issue alone.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that I'm willing to bet those $50 million in contracts go to a contractor who contributes to the proper cause the right way.
Could I say one thing about the dormitories, though?
Sure.
This expenditure of millions of dollars has nothing to do with the quality of education. It has everything to do with one public university wanting to compete for students with another. So we are going to have the nicer dormitory, we're going to have this little perk or that little amenity in order to market itself to students. Now, I understand that's important, but it is one of the primary drivers of the increase in education throughout the country, wanting to create a country club atmosphere to attract students. And people lose sight of the fact that they'll be taking homes to create just something for a glossy brochure, come and stay here, as opposed to we have a better educational program.
At this point, I need to cut you off. I want to thank Michael Fredericks for bringing you here. If I got your name right, I hope so. Federico. Sorry about that. Want to give people your website?
Yes, www.bedell415, that's Bedellfor15.com.
Thank you very much for coming, and
Thank
good
you,
luck in
sir.
the election.
I appreciate it.